Good day to a rather lovely day, to be honest. Sunday. I'm filming this on a Sunday. I'm hopefully uploading it now, so you should be able to watch it tomorrow, Monday. Because I could not film yesterday on Saturday because yesterday we had a storm. Really, really annoying storm, but it's winter. That's what happens. So, introductions first because, polite. My name is Gunnhildur. I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland. This is my podcast, The Project Pal, because I have projects and they are in piles. Number 42. Last week I somehow managed to make the mistake of re-uploading podcast number 40 instead of 41, and I didn't notice until on Wednesday, despite being pointed out. I just saw the title and thought, oh well, I must have put the wrong title in. No. I uploaded the wrong episode. And But, mistakes happen. I'll try not to do that again. It took me 3 days to notice it. It's like, ugh. Anyway. So yes. Today I'm filming Sunday, like I said, because I've gotten into the habit of filming on a Saturday, so I have the weekend basically to upload the video, so it's out on a Sunday. But I could have filmed this yesterday, but I would have to speak over the sound of the wind, and that just didn't sound very appealing to me because the wind was noisy. Also because it was windy and the entire side of the entire south side of my room is nothing but windows, and when you get strong winds and those big window panes start just vibrating and you like so I didn't like that, so I just kept my drapes. They were closed all yesterday because I did not need that in my life. So yeah, we actually made the news yesterday and today as well because the strongest winds were in my town and some of the more damage was here. Nothing absolutely serious, just the expected things. That's just a weird thing to say, but what happened was the Christmas tree downtown, that one it broke. It honestly though, it withstood the last storm, so I call that pretty dang good though. Real good tree this year. There was a garden shed that exploded. Some like building materials, that kind of thing, got blown up. Considering the strength of the wind, I kind of would expect some, and they did have to do something in the harbor with the smaller boats. But considering the strength of the wind, you kind of would have expected something more. I wouldn't have been surprised. Plus, where I live, this wind direction. Okay, so the strength of the wind. Let's start with that. The how do you put it? Like the median strength or the average strength of the wind was about 30 meters per second. The strongest winds were measured in town. I think it was something between 43 up to 50 that I've heard about. The strongest were up in a mountain pass that thankfully is no longer in use because the strongest gust managed to reach 70 meters per second. 70. That's pretty strong. Also in this fjord that I live in, the wind direction was a very strong northwest, which means that in this fjord, that causes, plus the strength of the wind, that causes something that is called kroksveður. Um, weather being weather, cloaks being kroker, meaning hook. So it's hook weather. Although a better translate, or you know, better term for this type of weather would be boomerang weather, because what happens is that you get the weather coming from like northwest and down by the mountains, gaining strength because it pretty much travels along the slopes of the mountains, up along the little dales and the vales and the kilodaldir, you know, because the land isn't just boop, straight. No, we have our little lumps and bumps, and wind travels along that to gain strength. And like I heard around 2 or 3 in the morning, because obviously I did not sleep very much that night, and I'm still trying to catch up, but I'm still like, haha. So around 2 or 3 in the morning, I actually heard the best example of the crux weather, boomerang weather. Because it's so weird when trying to explain it if you haven't recently experienced it. It's like it does this thing and then but what happened is that I'm laying in bed, unable to sleep because hey, weather, and I hear the wind come, and I hear it go past, and I hear when it hits the mountains on the opposite side of the fjord, because I can then hear it come back the same way, and it boomerangs, like, let's see, came here, and then it boomerang back, boomerang back, boomerang back. May have boomerang, you know, reintegrate with the main wind, because the main wind is still northwest, and then just blown away its natural course. But that is so weird experiencing, because you just go, because you can hear the wind, you can hear it leave and then return. The wind, so weird. But thankfully, like I'm just lying here thinking, well, at least it's the weekend, meaning that most people can sleep in the morning, if they can sleep in the night, because the night was not nice. Morning, not so much. The wind didn't really die down until around 10 or 11 last night, when it finally did calm down enough for, you know, try and sleep properly. But that's what happens in my part of the town. A little bit further in, around the harbor, where they had to go and help out with the small boats, because you know things happen when you have strong gust of winds. You have that area which is in that direction is vulnerable, and you have the sea that is like just white fishing and not very happy with the wind. And around that area, when the winds hit a certain part of the mountain, it gets channeled down along the just around along the slopes. It's kind of like a roller coaster ride for the wind, is what happens in this weather. So it goes down the slope, hits the mountains just opposite, and kind of like follow the mountain up, and then obviously it has momentum and it has to go down somewhere, so it comes down and it slams down in a certain area, just further in. So you do not want to be outside in that kind of weather, because you will just be blown hither and hither, and you will fly, basically. Probably a short distance, but you will fly. And not nice weather. Absolutely not nice weather, but it is what it is. I'm so happy I don't work on weekends, because I did not have to leave out my home all yesterday. So yeah, that's what happened. Also, I kept waiting for the because this was a storm. So, well, technically speaking, it was a snowstorm. But the winds were so strong that the snow didn't remain, except on the windows, because the ocean spray illusion got sprayed all over the town. It combined with the snow, so the usual saltiness on the windows is combined with snow. It's not a nice combination. It's really heckin' strong. So there's that. Also, because strong winds in the wintertime, I cannot wait for the electricity to go. So I've had this electrical lamp by my bedside, because what better way to light up the dark than with the Dark Lord of the Sith? Makes sense. Also because it's battery operated, so it's my emergency light in the cases of electricity leaving. I also was prepared with this little candle because it's scented and it's right by me. I also made sure that I had this candle. There's here no regular table candle, and it's been my companion since Friday night because and I also have another candle over there because if the electricity goes, you never know when it's gonna come back because it's stormy, and the electricity actually left, or was disrupted in another part of the country, so they have not that much power to go. So we're lucky, she says. I mean, we were hit worst of the weather, but we're still lucky because at least we still got power. So yesterday, I could have filmed, but you would probably not have heard much, apart from a storm. So I did work some more on my Dummy Clap Shawl because it's January. That means that because of the past weeks, which have been a bit stressful, there's been quite a bit to do. So my mind has been like all over the place, but I've been able to focus. So I've decided to focus on the Dummy Clap Shawl because I really, really want to finish it. I've made a bit of progress. Quite a bit of progress, honestly. I can't remember where I was last time. Somewhere around here, I think. So, also, I mean, I've had my suspicion for the past weeks, but I think I finally realized what I've been doing wrong for the past months since I made made my glasso, and why my sleeves turned out so weird when I was doing the straight stitch, back and forth on the needle instead of the knitting in the round. I think I figured it out. I'm probably, because I've been knitting my Dummy Clap Shawl. Let's show the front and notice maybe how the stitches. I mean, they're pretty. I like this kind of stitch, but they're kind of like twisted. I am probably going into the wrong leg of the stitch, meaning that I'm continually twitching the stitch around. But I'm gonna continue doing that with the shawl because if I change it now, that's gonna look really weird. But I think that's what I've been doing wrong, which means that I accidentally learned the new stitch. That's my viewpoint. I'm gonna go with that. But yeah, I am rather pleased with myself because I'm over 80 centimeters done. I've got this much left, this much to go. In case you don't know, I'm using ice yarns, Cakes chain. And I mean, I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the how the colors come out. I mean, I'm a biggest fan of this lovely, strong, almost neon orange. I love that color. I would have liked it more of it, but I still think it looks really, really nice. It looks, you know, there's a tonal difference, there's a color difference, and I do like it. I mean, I'm a little bit conflicted about the color, but the yarn itself, I love working with it. It's so soft. This is literally like a good friend who's there for you. That maybe sounds a bit weird, but it's such a nice soft yarn to work with. Like, this is 90% acrylic and 10% polyamide, and it's so soft. I like it. It's nice. It's a friend. This yarn is a friend. I do have another cake in the same color. I can't remember if I have other colors in the cake chain. I'll have to check what it says, because as I've said before, I'm in a yarn ban with. It's a bit bad because I keep seeing yarn that I'm like, I want. On the other hand, it's also good because that means I need to work on my stash, and I have so many lovely yarns already. You know what I'm not in a ban for though? Hello wind. I'm still allowed to buy like knitting needles because listen, the biggest knitting needles that I have so far are these Drops Bamboo 15mm, which, you know, I used to make my glashu. I have to remake that in the proper yarn. But this was, you know, these are big knitting needles, and big yarn means that you make a pretty big project pretty quick. Stands to reason. So on Friday night, because I didn't know if we were, you know, gonna lose electricity, so I dove into doing all the laundry. At least most of it. I did 4 loads of laundry. And did some knitting on the shawl, and to keep myself occupied and try to ignore the growing wind, I was on YouTube. Like I am pretty much every day. I am every day on YouTube, but anyway. So I discovered, for example, there's a YouTuber called Flossi, who is apparently also on Ravelry, and I need to check her out because she started her podcast November, and so far she only has like 2 podcasts out, but she's extremely nice. She's from the UK originally, and she now lives in Canada. Hang on, relation. She's from the UK originally and is now in Canada. Yes, pretty much. Yeah, somewhere around. Okay, anyway, directions. Haha. And she's a designer. She designs like knitting, and she does a lot. And looking at her work is like, oh, so pretty. I also found, so you know, I'm gonna link her down below because she sounds really nice, and I really want to keep looking, you know, watching her, because A, she's nice, B, she has a dog. It's a really cute dog. Can't remember the dog's name, but she's cute. And also she's a designer, and I really want to check out her designs and see if it's something that appeals to me, because there might just be. There's another YouTuber that I just discovered also on Friday night, but I can't remember her name. I should have checked before. You know, filming. But hey, my brain. So I'm gonna find her as well and link her down below because she's really cute. She also decided. Words. Hi. I don't know when she decided, but she did start with a knit focused section on her YouTube channel in also November, I think. But apparently I haven't checked out the rest of her channel, but she she does quite a bit of crafting, which might be interesting. But she's just, I don't know, she's just bubbly and cute and nice, and it was so nice to just sit and listen to her talk, because she just came across as nice. What I do remember about her is that A, she's nice, B, she's somewhere in America. Yeah, pay attention there. Good job. And she's pregnant and in her 3rd trimester, and she was being just so nice about her knitting, because she learned from her husband 7 years ago. Hasn't done a lot of knitting, but still she enjoys it, and she's gonna learn more, and I really like that, because putting things out on YouTube and just having this, well, for me, for example, having this podcast about where I can just enthuse about knitting and crocheting and yarning and the weather, what I want to do and what ideas I have and what I need to learn, has really helped me just stay on course. Because honestly, if I didn't have this podcast to film on the weekend, I would probably not have finished half of the stuff that I did manage to finish in 2020, because I kept thinking I need to do something so I can have something to talk about, and that helped me a lot. And I kind of hope that that's gonna help lady whose name I cannot remember, because my brain is like, no, do, but she's like, she's bubbly, and she wants to learn how to, she is studying how to knit in the round, because as she said, her sewing wasn't the prettiest, but she likes doing it, and she likes knitting, and her knitting really looks good. But yes, she was showing because she considers herself a beginner, because she isn't very advanced, but she has made like these 2 really big, chunky, lovely looking, and apparently really soft and nice blankets, really big, with chunky knitting needles. Now, my biggest needles so far are 15mm. I have been talking about, like, last year, I have not finished my lambkin blanket, because I'm knitting, I think, on 9mm, and my little hands, they go all crooked when I'm knitting it, because I have small hands. 9mm is rather big for me. Plus, the blanket is rather heavy, so, but I need to finish it. That's on the pile for this year. I'm gonna finish the projects that I didn't manage to finish, because that's how it goes. But she showed the knitting needles that she's been using. They're all rather on the bigger side. The knitting needle, the knitting needles that she used to knit the blankets are 25mm or US size 50. They're huge. They're huge. I mean, I'm not sure which fingers of mine are like, listen, the 10mm that I was struggling with is, I had fun using to knit my glass hook. It's about the width of my thumb, so it was a bit big to me. She's been knitting with 25mm, which is the, like, if I take my pointer and middle finger and just imagine that as a more rounded object, that's a bit big. Like, that's big. Also, the needles that she had, they were in the round. They looked really cute. Big, but really cute. So, I mean, obviously I'm in a yarn ban, because I have more than enough yarn and I need to use it. I am not in a knitting needle ban. So my current debate is not, going into the sale pages of the lovely yarn pages that I still frequent, because it's nice to pay attention to what the yarn is and maybe make myself a little bit sick of it, but anyway. But my biggest debate now is, do I really need those big knitting needles, because I went and checked out Wool Warehouse because I was actually checking for rather lovely king coal, big something, big value big or something, I can't remember, because I wanted to check it out, like yarn. So that kind of brought me, probably because I was thinking about turn blankets. Because I don't really have that much of chunky yarn that isn't earmarked for something very specific. I might have some, not sure. Anyway, so that obviously brought me into thinking like about knitting needles, because obviously I don't have 25mm knitting needles. And so I decided to check out what Knit Pro has, because Knit Pro is my go-to. Because Knit Pro is, I mean, these are just really good knitting needles. They suit me. I've been able to work like every kind of yarn so far with the Knit Pros. Like, when I was doing my Saga Angfléttu, my lovely red sweater, I wasn't able to get all the knitting needles of the same sort. So when I was knitting around, I was using my Knit Pro lovely expensiveness, like these regular ones with the like this lovely mold. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like classic in my mind. I have no idea if these are classic, but these, they are fine. The ones that I was using, I can't remember what the wood is called, with the rose gold and the very soft wooden knitting needles, that was a luxury. Because I didn't have like the double pointed needles in the correct sizes, I had to check them out with another type. So it was here with the steel, I think it was steel, which is, I feel is better when you're working with wool, because steel and wool kind of like works together. And then the absolutely lovely bamboo, but for me personally, working with the bamboo and a bamboo and wool combination just didn't work for me, because my brain kept insisting that the bamboo needles were splitting. They weren't. It was just the wool being, tricking me in my brain. But when it comes to Knit Pro, in my experience, I've been able to work every type of yarn with them. So obviously that's my go-to when I go check out knit needles. And on Wool Warehouse, they also have the double pointed knitting needles. So I'm like in bigger sizes, because I thought I had those bigger sizes. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. But what I do have are the really fine ones from 2mm up to 3mm. So I didn't have the 3.5mm, and I did have 3.5mm. I sold that using the circle needles, that's right. Didn't have the 4.5 and the 8mm in double point needles, so I had to buy that. But Wool Warehouse has that set from Knit Pro, and I'm like, I kinda need it, because next time I need to do this, next time I start working on this kind of project, I would like to have needles that I feel that I can use. But I also checked out like their Jumbo, which honestly they have knitting needles in the round, 80 centimeters, 100, 120, 150. So you can definitely make like blankets. They have 20mm, they have 25mm, they have 30mm, and they have 35mm. And I'm just sitting here like, I won't. I won't. At the end of the year, I'm probably gonna have a basket with nothing but knitting needles in around, but oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds really lovely though. We need to buy a new basket, but that's like, I want. And I'm just, I'm not sure if it's just the hoarding instinct, if it's the collector instinct, if it's the I might be able to use. I'm probably gonna use it though. But I also have really small hands. That would be torture unless I manage to like hold it like. I don't know. So my debate right now is, do I really need to collect every size of knitting needles? Because my instinct is telling me that yes. Because I could also then lend it to someone else who wants to make like a huge project but isn't ready to buy. Like, my instinct is to collect so I can redistribute to people in my community and in my like little group. And I don't know if I can fight this in the instinct this time, because what are the odds that anyone needs that size of it? But then again, that lovely lady was making so much use of it, and she made such lovely blankets. Like, obviously not really complicated. It was just straight stitch, but still. So yeah, that's my biggest debate this week. Am I or am I not gonna buy jumbo, humongous knitting needles, because I don't know if I need them. But I was gonna talk about something else on just my desire to buy giant knitting needles. So this is a progress that I've been making on the Dummy Clap Shawl, and I'm so happy. I am really happy about it. I've also been thinking about what I'm gonna work on next, and honestly I think, because this is closest to me, I really think that, oh dear me. Okay, another thing, I kind of need to see, this is also my justification for why I went to Wool Warehouse. These are my point protectors that I've been using on these. They have a bit of a tendency to kind of like fall off like that. So I was also looking at point protectors because I kind of need more of them. So the next project that I'm probably gonna focus on when I finish the Dummy Clap Shawl and this basket here is pretty much, you know, empty of the big projects. I'm probably gonna throw this lovely ball into the basket so I can continue working on this shawl, which is gonna be so nice and delicate, and probably gonna be looks really nice in the summertime. So I'm actually gonna drop that in the basket. After that, I have the lambkin blanket to continue working on. Just have to make sure wearing something that can handle being all dusty and you know, fibrous, because I love the lambkin. So lambkin is from Ice Yarns, and the color combination that I have is in the pink colorway. So it's white and pink, and it turns in such a lovely striped color. And I need to finish that because that is one of the projects that needs to be finished, because I want to finish it. I want to be able to wash it and start using it. So I'm gonna finish the Dummy Clap Shawl. I'm gonna continue working on the crochet triangle method shawl. So the lambkin that I need to continue working on, and then there's the lovely little baby blanket that I started working on, what, 2019? Yeah, I need to finish that because it isn't complicated. I just I keep starting on something else and doing something else. Then there's the wish shawl that is just, you know, it's long term. It isn't like something that needs to be finished like it doesn't have a deadline, but it would be nice to like have it close by so I can continue working on it. And then there's the rather simple sweater that I've been working on since January 2020. That's when I cast it on. Still haven't finished it. And I'm so close to being done. Like I've joined the sleeves to the body, but I need to figure out what I want to do with the collar. I kind of like what I wanted like ripped, but I've never done a ripped collar with, you know, like that. So need to figure it out. Because I need to get it off my knitting needles and start wearing it because it will look so cute on my dresses. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like there's... No, that's 6 projects, so that's the 6 projects that I need to get going on with. But yay! So yeah, this has been my week. We had a storm. Day-long storm. More than a day long. It was like about 48 hours. Annoying. That's pretty much just the word, but it was annoying. But yeah, there's that. Continue working on my Dummy Clap Shawl and made quite nice progress. Like I'm over 2/3 done. I'm so close to being done. So close. So cool, so cool. Then just, you know, going along the line and start finishing the projects that I have in my piles, because I do have more projects in piles, but we are not talking about those. So that's been my week. It's been an interesting week, really interesting week. So I hope you had fun watching me ramble about the weather and my projects. And next week, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about like right now, but yeah. Trying to figure out if there's anything else that I was going to talk about. I don't think there was. Well, I was probably going to chat some more about like some books, something I cannot remember. I should really write things down before I start talking. So yeah, that's one thing that I need to do in like probably today, is write a list of what I want to accomplish in 2021 and start working on notes for the next episode, because I keep remembering when I'm done like, oh wait, I was going to talk about that. Then I don't, because I can't remember at the time. But anyway, this is me this weekend. I'll see you next week. And I'll try to load the right video this time. I can't believe I did that, but yes. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bless, bless!